Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Kai Dragon Gardening and Cooking Channel. And my name's Annie. And today I'm going to talk to you about a pet-safe environment for your pets in your garden. And it's mostly for dogs and cats. However, you know, there's other animals too that like to explore, and you want to remember your pets are part of your family, so you want to be able to include them and let them walk around in your garden and stuff, and remember to pick up after them, of course, because they are your responsibility. But you want to make it fun for them too, so you need to make sure that your garden is safe enough that you're not having to yell at your animal all the time and saying, get down from there, do this, do that, and you know, they're confused and they don't know what they can and they can't do. So I'm going to give you some little tips and tricks, because I have miniature dachshunds. They are very stubborn and very curious, and what one doesn't think of, the other one will. And they have been known to climb into some of the most strangest places, and they can get hurt very easily. I had one dachshund one time that was so determined she climbed up a trellis ladder to get into a hanging plant because she wanted to lay in that planter. So I learned just from being around a little tree climber like her. I also had a dachshund who was able to climb on some boards and stuff we had stacked up on the side of a garage, because we had built shelves when we were doing a lot of arts and crafts and metalwork. And she was chasing after a possum and found herself on the roof of the garage. So she was acting like a cat. So you learn from the experiences you have with your animals, and you want to share them with other people, so you don't want to have your animals getting hurt. So some of the things I'm going to tell you are from a lot of experience with different animals and different pets that we have had in our life. So I hope this is going to help you. I hope you'll get something out of this, and please make sure when you get done that you will share this with your family and friends. Like, share, subscribe. We need you. We're a new channel starting out. We want to try to at least get 1,000 subscribers, you know. Start small, go big. But, you know, it all depends on you and the content that we create, and we're trying to create things that will be of interest to you. So without further ado, I'm going to get started. One of the things that you want to remember, this is very important, that you want to make a play safe area for your pets. So if you have garden beds and you know that they enjoy walking around them and stuff, make it comfortable. You know, have little walking paths, put down some mulch. If you know that you have plants that may be poisonous to an animal, put some little fencing up around the area, so that way they're not going to chew on a leaf of something that could be toxic to them. Make sure that you keep pollinator water stations up high. I had a dachshund one time that got bit in both eyes by 2 wasps. Now, I need the wasps for the garden, but I sure didn't like her getting bit, and she was so highly allergic that just driving across town to get to the vet, both of her eyes had swollen shut. She was that allergic. So it could have been very fatal for that little puppy. So keep your stations up high, and it'll help keep your puppy safe. Same way with cats. Provide a shaded, comfortable area for your pet. You know, if you have little lawn chairs and things for yourself to sit on, put a little cushion underneath there for your dog to lay down, or provide a chair. Like, I have an extra lawn chair that I don't use, and I put a pillow in that. My dogs like to climb up the little ramp and lay down on the cushion. Sometimes they'll steal my chair too, but you know, that's okay. Like I said, place fencing around planters and beds you don't want your pets to climb into. That's very important. Make sure that you keep water available for your pets, and if you're out in the garden for a long time, have some snacks for them too. Maybe keep some in your pocket. Also, good idea to reward them. You know, if they're walking around and they're not bothering anything and they're doing a good job, you know, they're guarding you and they're part of your family, give them a snack, give them a little treat, tell them they're doing a good job. Let them feel welcome, because like I said, they're part of your family. So those are some ideas. Another thing is those little pop-up trash cans, or even a 5-gallon bucket, works great to set out in the garden area and throw your trash in it. Keep your area picked up. It'll make your garden look so much more beautiful. So, the best dog-safe plants for the garden, I'm going to name several that I have found. And a lot of these will bring in the pollinators. So, and a lot of them come in many different colors. So, if you want to know more about different plants that are toxic and non-toxic, you know, what is really safe, you can visit the ASPCA.org, and they have a list. You also want to remember that some of your vegetation that you plant in the garden, the leaves can be toxic to your animals. So it's really in your best interest not to let them climb up inside your garden beds to chew on something. Anyway, that Asiatic lily comes in many different colors. It's a perennial, so if you don't have a super hard winter, it should come up the next year. Asters are perennials. They come in blue, purple, pink, and magenta colored flowers. Bee balm, of course, you know, it's a natural magnet for your pollinators. It's a very pretty flower. The grape gumball is just awesome looking, but it's also a perennial. Carnelia, the flowers are white, pink, and red. It's also a perennial. Your coral bells, they have beautiful foliage, but the flowers also are red, pink, and white. Daylilies, they come in several different colors. There's a violet that you can get. Also, the common colors are the yellow and the orange. So check, you know, with your flower shops, especially if you want to order something that's really rare. Marigolds, they are a great thing to have in the garden because they are a huge pest deterrent. They help keep the mosquitoes down, and they are also a pet friendly plant. So you don't have to worry about having marigolds planted everywhere. I mean, I try to plant them in every garden bed. So, and it really does help keep the bugs away. You come out and want to relax, sit down in the chair and maybe have a cold drink. And nothing's more depressing than to start getting ate alive by the mosquitoes and stuff. So, you know, especially if you don't want to use repellents all the time, you can get those bands that you can put on your arms and legs. But, you know, they'll attack your face and different areas. So, yeah, marigolds are they're really awesome for that. So, and they are pet safe. but they're an annual. You're going to have to plant them every year. They come in brick red and the orange. Sometimes you can get the variegated where they're both colors, different yellows, and also it's kind of rare, but I have seen them in a creamy white color, almost like an antique white. So they're hard to find, but most common are the dark orange and the yellows. Snapdragons, some people say they're perennials, but around here they've always been annuals. I've had to plant mine every year. They come in all colors except blue. Your sunflowers, they are amazing. They add a lot of beauty to the garden. A lot of your other plants use them for something to climb on, so they add some stability for the other plants. And my little wander dog Wendy came out here so she can help with the video. Sit down. You gotta sit down. Good girl. Good girl. So your yellow, your orange, your apricot, and your red, those are your common colors, but there are some rare seeds out there now, like the chocolate sunflowers. They're very pretty. They also have the Mexican sunflowers. They're a beautiful color, and there's just all different kinds. Anything from something that grows up to about 4 foot tall to some that I've seen get as tall as 12 to 15 feet. We had some last year in one of the small gardens that I did around a bird sanctuary area that I built for a friend, and those were actually 13 feet tall. We had to measure them because they were so much taller than me. I was looking up like this, but the redbirds really did like them, so they help bring in the birdies too. Your zinnias, I like planting the yellow zinnias around my squash plants as a deterrent because of those nasty vine borers, but they come in a variety of colors except for blue, and they are another great flower to have in your garden, and they are pet safe. Some of your herbs like your basil, rosemary, and thyme, those are also good ones that are okay for your pets, and your thyme and your rosemary also act as a repellent for mosquitoes and some of the other bugs. Canna lilies, those are beautiful flowers. They get really tall. They like the heat. They're, heat tolerant. Those are an annual. They're usually in red, yellow, or a real pretty dark orange, almost a rust color. Crepe myrtles, they're pinks, reds, lavender. Some people call them a plant or a tree. Forsythia is a perennial. They have bright golden bells that bloom in the spring. And then there's a perennial called a magnolia bush. Don't drink my tea. It blooms in purple, pink, white, and it's drought tolerant. It likes full sun. Wendy, sit down. This is my little wander dog. She wanders all over the garden. She protects me. She's going to be a star in one of my stories about the 3 raccoons. She alerted me of their existence. But she's out in the garden a lot. If anybody's near the fence, because there's a back alley and stuff, I'm always well aware. She's also one of my reasons why I have to put fencing around things, because I have a lot of grow bags, and she don't care if there's seedlings in there or not. She will hop right up in that grow bag so she can see up higher on the fence. Wendy, come back here. Come here, baby girl. Mama's got to see ya. Come on, come over here. Come sit in your chair. She's exploring. She has to go look at the strawberries to make sure they're doing good. Your common lilac bush, it comes up every year, so it's perennial. It smells really, really good also in the garden. Petunias, they come in many colors. They're an annual, and they help bring in pollinators. Sometimes they'll even help bring in like hummingbirds and the hummingbird moths, which are very pretty. So you always want to make sure you have some petunias mixed in there. The polka dot plant, it's a shade-loving plant. Some people call it baby's tears, freckle face, or it's also been known as the measles plant. White ginger, it's also called the butterfly ginger or cinnamon jasmine. Garland flower or ginger lily, but it likes rich soil and full sun. Your Hoyas or wax plants, they're slow growing vines that are great for your hanging baskets. You know, they're also safe for your animals. Viburnum, it's like an evergreen flower and blooms in white or pink in the spring. It's very drought tolerant. There's also a heart-shaped Hoya. It's a succulent, and the leaves look like little hearts. And of course your spider plants, those are safe for animals, and they come in different colors, and usually you see those in hanging baskets because they have the little sprouts that will come off, and then you can take those and make another plant. And so if you get one plant, a lot of times you'll end up with 5 or 6 more just by taking that one little piece and planting it into a little seed cup and let it start. And once it gets going, put it in another pot. And, it'll get big. So then you'll have another one that you can give away for a gift. The ponytail palm plant. It's an awesome plant. It looks beautiful. It's a good conversation piece. It's just elegant anywhere that you display it. One problem I did find with the ponytail palm though was when I had cats. My cat just loved that plant, and every time it would get full swing and the leaves would be all the way out and it just looked beautiful, that cat would come along and just shear the whole thing. I'd wake up and there'd just be pieces, and it loved that plant, and I'd put it up higher, and the cat did whatever it could to get to that plant. So it's pet safe. However, you might have to test the waters with that one. So if you have a cat, it may not be so safe as far as being able to maintain itself. Your nasturtium flowers, they are also pet safe, and they're annuals. They're great in garden boxes. They're used as a pet deterrent for so many different vegetables. They're full of vitamin C. I wouldn't recommend really eating them. I mean, you can. The flowers are red, yellows, and orange, but we plant a lot of them, especially around the squash plants. We help use them as a as a pest deterrent. So they're wonderful for that. So make sure that you get those. When I plant them, I always usually take the seeds and I'll soak them for about 4 hours before I plant them. It helps with the germination, because they really are pretty good sized seeds and they're very hard. So soaking them does help when you get ready to plant them. She's found her little pillow and her spot, so she's gonna quit running around now. So at least she's being quiet this morning. Anyway, those are some ideas I have for you making your garden area a little more pet friendly and pet safe. Like I said, you want to remember that a lot of your plants can be toxic, especially when your animals are out running around and stuff. So make sure that you're supervising them. We have a fenced in area that I have beans and a few tomato plants and some corn and watermelon and stuff. At the back part we have potato plants planted, and some are in pots, some are direct sowed into the ground. Those plants are toxic, and that is to everyone. You want to wash your hands really good if you have been messing with a potato plant. Only the tubers under the ground are the only thing that you can safely eat, so you want to remember that. And I always tell everybody at the end of the garden season and stuff, potato plants are something I usually do not throw in the composter. I kind of treat it as the leaves that I'm cutting off the tomato plants. If they have a fungus or something, I put them in a different type of bag, and so they are not put in the composter, so that way they can get disposed of properly. I just don't want anything that's going to be poisonous getting back in the soil somehow, and I don't know whether it can or can't, but I just want to make it safe. So those are some of the ideas I have for you, and hopefully you'll have a more pet-friendly garden. And like I said, you can get on the ASPCA website and they have some more ideas of the toxic and non-toxic plants for your animals and stuff, so that way you know that everything is safe. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got something out of it. Please like, share, and subscribe. Help us out. We appreciate you. You're our friends. And we're doing this because we want to share what we know.